Welcome back to the Healthy Kosher Network, your kosher source designed to improve your health and your life. This is episode 4 in the Healthy Kosher Nutrition series, Avoiding Foods Naturally High in Sugar. My name is Travis, and our goal at the Healthy Kosher Network is to help you and your family be at your healthy kosher best in every aspect of your lives. Please be sure to tap the like, subscribe, and notification buttons if you haven't already done so, and tell your loved ones about the Healthy Kosher Network. We talked about mindful kosher eating in the first episode of the Healthy Kosher Nutrition series. Then we went over in episode 2, avoiding foods with added sugar and eliminating them from our diets. Then in episode 3, I talked about alternative sweeteners and which ones are recommended to kind of give us a little bit of consolation for eliminating added sugar, and which artificial sweeteners to avoid, like NutraSweet and saccharin, and some of the reasons why. And then now in episode 4, we're going to talk about getting rid of foods naturally high in sugar. And there's a whole lot of, I think, built-in resistance that we want to have, that I certainly wanted to have when I started thinking about eliminating foods naturally high in sugar, especially fruits. I wanted to say, well, I need my bananas for potassium and fiber, and I need apples because they have certain nutrients. And hey, they're pretty low in calories, aren't they? Well, I had to kind of look at the accumulative impact of all of the foods that have naturally occurring sugar in them. And these may also include for me, like bread. We talk about I think I'm all wonderful if I eat organic whole wheat bread. That doesn't have added sugar. Well, it's naturally high in sugar present in the carbohydrate in the wheat, if it's wheat bread. So, and because it has a high amount of carbohydrate in relation to the amount of fiber, so then we get into this concept of glycemic index. If you're not familiar with that, please read up on it. But in a very few amount of words, glycemic index is the amount of sugar present in it without, or in relation to the amount of fiber that slows the absorption rate of the sugar by our bodies, and the insulin response that our bodies have in response to this added sugar source, or food that's naturally high in sugar. So if you look at an orange, and you eat a whole orange, it has a lot of sugar in the form of fructose, which is fruit sugar, as well as a good amount of fiber. Well, even though I don't eat oranges because they have too much naturally occurring sugar in them, but if I eat the orange whole, then I'm getting enough fiber to hopefully slow down the absorption of the fructose that's present, at least a little. Well, if you drink orange juice, which has now had the juice of the orange squeezed out and all of the fiber that's in that orange to slow the absorption of the sugar, and just drink the orange juice, the glycemic index is much higher, and the insulin response that we're going to have as a result of drinking that juice is going to be much greater, much higher insulin excretion rate over a shorter period of time. So this is very important. And then we look at how much food we eat with high amounts of naturally occurring sugars, then there's a pattern that develops, and we start to look at how much of it we actually eat. And I've slowly, again, my philosophy is slow changes over time, so that we don't have to make fast wholesale changes in a short period of time due to some catastrophe, a crisis, health crisis. So scaling back, foods like crackers, bread, that they don't have sugar as an added ingredient, but they have a lot of sugar present in them from prepared processed foods. So that's the first thing to eliminate, that I would recommend now moving on to, is anything that you can't find any added sugar and yet has a high amount of carbohydrate in it. And the goal is you could have a goal of getting under 100 grams of carbohydrate per day. Have that as a next goal. That's a great goal. And then look at eliminating apples, bananas. Apples are borderline. I'm sorry, oranges. I apologize. Apples, maybe if you're trying to get down to 100 grams of carb a day, an apple would be, fit in with that carbohydrate count. But oranges, bananas, pineapple, what's another great example of a fruit high in sugar? Pineapple, mangoes. Cut out these high sugar content fruits and try to replace that with strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, especially a small or medium-sized apple or half of a large apple, and look at food. Go pull up a glycemic index chart online. I'll try to link to a couple that I like. Some links in the description of this video that'll help you as a guide to get rid of foods naturally high in sugar, so that we can get our insulin response down, and the pounds will start melting off of you, and your inches will start to change. You'll lose inches, and you'll start digesting the macro ingredients that you take in better. So stay tuned to the Healthy Kosher Network for valuable information. In our regular updates throughout the week, we encourage you to comment and message us with any thoughts, suggestions, or questions you may have. We'll work hard to get you the answers you need to improve your healthy kosher lives. Please be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on for the Healthy Kosher Network so you can stay current with our latest updates and get the most out of your healthy kosher life. Thanks for watching.